As promised, here is your first introductory video onto my whereabouts while I'm living in my car here in Chicago, Illinois. Let's just get into it. Some additions that I've made to the car is I got all of the windows tinted so that if I need to take an hour nap on my breaks at work, nobody is watching me sleep. And additionally, on the weekends when I'm sleeping in here, I made these window covers that I'm securing up here with bungee cords, which is actually a trick that my friend Jess showed me when she used to transport her hula hoops to and from festivals. And the way that these work is they're just clamped on like so. And then I can take one or all of them, really, and they just fit on the windows like this. Let me see if I can get you a better view here. And they're completely black felt on the outside, and I secure them with these that I stick into the grooves to hold them in place. And that way, when I'm sleeping in my car, nobody can see inside, and it makes it to where I feel like I have privacy. And in addition to the tint from the outside, I would show you, but it's raining right now. It just looks like the windows are super tinted. But if someone were to wonder why there's trying to get into my car or whatever, if they come in with a flashlight and they shine it, it won't show that they can't see anything on the inside. I cut all of those to fit the windows perfectly. I just have a regular one that people typically use for, you know, the front windshield, because it's not uncommon to just see people have those in their windows in Chicago at all, because it gets really sunny here, especially in the summer. And it's made out of this Reflectus insulation stuff, some duct tape, and some black felt and some spray glue. It's really simple to do. Still have to do the back windshield, but the weather hasn't been too kind to me. You actually have to, it's really hard to get up into this crevice and measure and cut. So you have to do it on the outside window. And if it's raining, obviously I can't do that. Other than that, I took out one of the back seats so that I could lay this way and so I don't have to sleep in the fetal position every night. It could be uncomfortable and, you know, damaging to my joints and my muscles, which I don't need to be happening considering the fact that I'm working 2 full-time jobs. A lot of people, when they try to do this, they immediately buy one of those inflatable beds that go this way. But again, like I said earlier, I don't want to be sleeping in the fetal position every night. I'd like to stretch out and relax after work. So, and also those things are built for weekend camping trips that are used intermittently. You're not supposed to be sleeping on those every night, because then the seams will actually break, or you'll puncture it, and you'll be buying one maybe every couple of weeks because of how often you're using it and how much you're, wearing it out. See, instead of the inflatable mattresses, they sell these permanent ones that are the padding's not great, but they clip onto the back of your seat, and they basically make your back seat flat this way. So some people still tend to sleep on it this way. I'm not gonna do that. This is my pillow. It's just a travel pillow and a, blindfold, or whatever you call it, a sleep mask. For, when I have my hour breaks at each of my jobs, I can just take a quick nap in the front seat and, not have to crawl back in and crawl back out. Eventually, I'm going to be getting a 4-inch mattress topper for a twin mattress, and then cutting it to fit in here, and then getting a custom-made waterproof cover to go around it, and so that I can put it inside and zip it up, so I can get a little bit more padding. This isn't the most comfortable setup right now, but where it's not very cold at night. I doubt I'll be using the mummy bag, so that's going to be acting as my my padding, essentially. And I can lay completely flat. I have everything in my storage unit. I only had to get a 5x5 because I've been sort of a minimalist for the past 10 years. So everything, I could fit 3-4 times as much stuff in there that I have currently. And that's where I keep all of my other supplies that I rotate out. Basically, I'm working with a system where I have everything I need for the week that I'm working, the 5 days, in the car. And then if I get low on something, I replenish it on the weekends from either my cache that I have at my storage unit, or if I have to go out and buy it. I have my bi-weekly grocery list automated on Walmart. I'll be eating entirely canned food, and with the addition of some other shelf-stable stuff like raisins and nuts to eat small amounts throughout my shift to keep me alert and awake. This first week is going to be particularly difficult because I'm still working the middle shift at one of my jobs. So my schedule will be, let's just start tonight. Tonight I'm going into work for the first time at my new job at 9 p.m. I'll be off at 5:30 in the morning. And then my next shift is at 9 a.m. at my other job, and that gets off at 5:30 p.m. So they flip-flop, which means I'm gonna have to do a biphasic sleep schedule, which is gonna be hard for me to adjust to. So I'm actually not doing my regular food consumption system. So for this week, I basically just went for any of the foods that have the highest calories, just for the energy. So I got like loaded potato soup, I got baked beans, corned beef hash has a lot of calories. In the center console here, I have a can opener for the ones that aren't pull tab. I have hand sanitizer, and then I have alcohol prep pads to wipe my spoon with when I'm done using it, so it doesn't get gunky and gross and bacterial. I also went ahead and got a UPS mailing address. It's not a PO box, it's different. It's actually recognized by the government as a physical address, which is important when you're living in your car, because governments typically will not send you official documents to a PO box. They do not allow that. So if you have my number and you want to send me something like a letter or a picture of yourself and some words of encouragement, I would greatly appreciate it. I do not need anything. I don't need any more clutter. I'm already, cutting down to the bare bones intentionally. The only two things that I do need, but also don't buy them for me, is when it's hot at night and I'm trying to sleep, I'm gonna need a battery powered fan that I'm also gonna be hooking up into my backpack system, so that I can clip it on and stay cool during the night. My sleeping bag is rated to 0 Fahrenheit, which is plenty for, the summer. Sometimes it gets down to maybe 20 Fahrenheit here in Chicago. And then I have a wool blanket from the military that is very, very warm. Wool is naturally flame retardant. It's, antibacterial. You don't really have to wash it. And it's super comfortable. If it gets to the winter, I'll be getting an electric blanket, because sometimes it gets -20, -30. I've seen it here. And you don't want to leave the car running all night and wasting your gasoline, or, alerting people that you're living out of your car, because that it increases your chances of becoming a victim of things like robbery. What takes up the most space is this container here. And all that is it's all of my stuff I need in case I get a flat tire. I went ahead and upgraded, got a new jack, a breaker bar, some really nice sockets, some wheel chocks, because I absolutely hate the kits that come with these cars. They're difficult to use and I hate them. Got some spare gasoline. The first one is a hygiene bag that has everything that I need to shower on the weekend, and shave and do a more thorough hygiene routine than just my daily, because I don't have a lot of time to be sacrificing sleep to be doing a very rigorous hygiene every day. Got my shower shoes, because I'll be showering at truck stops or a gymnasium, or like a Planet Fitness. My You don't want to have your bare feet on a public floor. You don't know how often it's been cleaned, and you could get some pretty nasty funguses. And then here in my day bag that I bring into work with me, I have everything I need to brush my teeth after meals in the sinks that are provided there at work, and also baby powder, because since I do not have the time to be showering every day, I'll be doing what's called a field shower, which is something that I'm very familiar with. We did it in the Marine Corps. Basically, you just wipe yourself down with baby wipes thoroughly, and then I'll be using baby powder and applying that with, just a regular rag to keep myself from getting too sweaty. And since I'm using, baby wipes to keep myself clean, I've decided to basically shave my entire body, including my armpits for the first time, which is very weird for me. But it just helps the hair not to absorb all of the sweat and make me smell like I'm living out of my car. The third part of my hygiene routine is essentially bigger versions of everything I have in here, so I can buy it for cheaper at larger quantities, and then I can refill my travel size bottles to minimize space on the stuff that I'm carrying around daily. So I picked up this battery bank, right? And what I use it for is basically when I'm living in my car, I can charge all of my stuff over the weekend. And I have things that are permanently attached to it, like my alarm clock, because since I'm going to be working long hours, I don't want to have to rely too much on my phone alarm, because, you can just half awake, wake up and turn that off several times and be late to work. So this thing's actually really, really loud. And when this runs out of battery, there's a battery in here that's going to keep the time set. I have that plugged in to a power strip, and also on this same power strip is the charger for my Kindle. I've got a lot of reading to do, and for my laptop. And the laptop is always plugged in, and the zippers are securing the cable from moving around and unplugging itself. Now this entire setup is going to be built to fit inside of this singular backpack, so that when I go into work, I can basically just set the backpack next to an area and plug in the power strip and charge everything all at once. And if I need, if it's a weekend and I'm not working and I need to use any of the stuff and it's out of battery, I can still use the battery bank to charge it. And again, here's what that configuration looks like when it's all put together. Everything coming out of one hole. Just plug it in when I get to work. I have one cable going to the front pocket where I keep my Kindle. And then my alarm clock is currently in this side pocket so that I can, unravel it and pull it out and have it somewhere sitting in the car for me to use it properly. Additionally, I have reduced my entire wardrobe into 8 pairs of clothes. Since there's 7 days of the week, and when I'm doing laundry, I have to be wearing clothes because you can't be naked at a laundromat. These are skivvy rolls. It's another technique that I learned while I was in the service. It's basically a shirt, underwear rolled up with 2 socks, and you switch these out every day. And then I have a few pairs of pants that I can, every 2 or 3 days I can switch, and then take everything to the laundromat on the weekends when I'm off. So yeah, that pretty much sums everything up. It is my last day at the house here, so I am moving into the car starting at, I guess, when I leave for work, probably around 8:40 this evening, so I can make my shift at 9 o'clock. Yeah, I will try to keep weekly updates posted for you guys. You have my number, you can text me, don't worry about me, I'll be fine. I love you all, and I will talk to you soon.